Do you remember when you were a little kid and you used to pretend you were Superman with a super cape? And did you ever imagine that what it would be like to be a superhero, saving the day and doing good for mankind? Did you ever imagine that when you were a little kid? To be the superhero, to save the day? Well, what if I told you that you can? And that you and I can be that superhero, and that you and I can potentially save lives? Do you want to know how you can do that? I do. Hi, my name is Steven Alonzo, and today I'd like to talk about blood donation and how donating blood can really make an impact on other people's lives. Now, according to the American Red Cross, someone in the United States is in need of blood every 2 seconds. I repeat, someone in the United States in America is in need of blood every 2 seconds. That's not every 2 years, not every 2 months, not every 2 weeks. That's every 2 seconds. However, the demand of blood transfusions is increasing faster than the donations, and the volume of blood needed for patients is increasing at a rate of 6% per year. Two of the most common reasons people don't donate blood are I never thought about it, and I don't like needles. Nevertheless, if we can find a way to overcome our fear of needles and to overcome other excuses, and if just one more person would donate blood, that means you can save up to 3 lives. So today I'd like to talk about the blood shortage problem and why people don't donate blood and excuses that people use. And finally, I'd like to close with how we can alleviate this problem and what we can do to help with the blood shortage problem. Now, according to the American Red Cross, every 2 seconds, someone in the United States is in need of blood. It's essential for surgeries, for cancer treatment, chronic illnesses, and traumatic injuries. Whether a patient receives whole blood, red cells, platelets, or plasma, this life-saving care starts with one person making a generous donation. And according to a report by Deborah Zabarenko from ABC News, and I quote, "A critical shortage of blood has forced the cancellation of elective surgeries in Los Angeles, Philadelphia, and Atlanta," the American Cross said, close quote. And also, Dr. Bernadine Healy, who is the American Red Cross president, also has made a statement saying this is one of the worst ones that the Red Cross has seen in a recent telephone interview with ABC News. So she's talking about the blood shortages that we are seeing today. And also, blood platelets and donations are being sent to the hospitals faster than the donations that are coming in. In fact, donations have fallen short of expectations for the past 2 months, resulting in about 61,000 fewer donations than what is needed. So just to give you an idea of who can donate, and just to kind of give you a perspective, 38% of the national population is eligible for donations, but only less than 10% actually do. Now, if all eligible blood donors would at least give blood twice a year to 3 times a year, central blood banks would be self-sufficient. Now, each year, 4.5 million Americans would die without blood transfusions. And again, just to reiterate, and I don't mean to beat a dead horse, every 2 seconds, someone is in need of blood. Now, and just to kind of reiterate some blood facts and statistics, again, 4.5 million Americans are in need of blood transfusions each year. Someone here in the United States needs blood every 2 seconds. 43,000 pints of blood are donated it each year, or each day, sorry, in the United States and in Canada. And about 1 in 7 people that are entering into hospitals are in need of blood. And then 1 pint can save up to 3 lives, which means that can be you or me. That means 1 pint can save 3 lives. And then most of the donated red blood cells can be stored up to 42 days. And the shortage of all blood types happen during the summer and winter holidays. And then most donated platelets can be stored up to 5 days. Now, the next one we're going to cover is the common reasons why people don't donate blood. Now, there's so many different excuses, but I'm just going to cover just a few. But just to give you an idea here, they range from here. So excuses, we've heard them all. All of the most common reasons people don't donate blood. I can catch a disease if I donate. People are afraid of AIDS, for example, because of the needles. I don't have enough blood to give. I'm too old. You don't want my blood. Someone else will donate. I'm too busy, and it will hurt, and I'm afraid of needles. But I'm just going to talk about 2 of the most common ones. Now, the first one I want to talk about is people don't donate because they don't have time. Now, according to the Department of Health and Human Services, 15% of people don't donate blood because they're too busy. Sound familiar? And 17% say that they never thought about it. Second excuse, probably the most common one, is I'm afraid I'll get AIDS. Now, according to a recent study that done by the University of Maryland Medical Center, it is not possible to get AIDS by donating blood to the American Red Cross. A new sterile needle is used for each donor and discarded afterwards. Now, in a Seattle Times report, it's concluded that under the University of Minnesota, that 37% of Americans' population is eligible to give blood, but that's down from 60%, which was in the 1990s. So again, people that use excuses, and then you see the numbers drop. And also in a book called Safe Blood by Dr. Joseph Fieldshaw, he writes that 88% of transfusions are given for medical or surgical situations that are unrelated to accidents or injuries. Now, as I covered earlier before, who are the recipients of these blood donations, but surgical in medical or surgical situations unrelated to accidents or injuries. The leading recipients of blood transfusions are patients with cancer, heart disease, and gastrointestinal diseases, accounting for over 50% of transfusions each year. So again, with excuses that we make, that's including myself, these are the people that get affected. Now again, just to kind of give you a powerful statement on this slide here, excuses never save a life, but a blood donation does. Next, I just want to cover and talk about what can we do to solve this blood shortage problem. What can you and I do? Now, it's very simple. It's very easy and very simple. Now, if only 1% more of Americans would donate blood, it would make the blood shortage virtually disappear. This is according to Judith Reitman in her 1996 book, Bad Blood, Crisis in the American Red Cross. If all blood donors just gave at least 3 times a year, blood shortages would eventually disappear. The current average is 2 times, but if we gave 3 times, it would virtually disappear. And anybody that's generally healthy can make a donation. Even children, but I wouldn't encourage children. Children meaning teenagers, 17, 15, 14 in that age. But again, they would have to get permission as well from their parent. But anybody weighing over 110 pounds can donate 1 pint of blood. And if you can donate blood, you'd be potentially saving 3 lives, again, just to reiterate. And it's including burn victims, it's including people that are in accidents, including mothers that are in childbirth, cancer patients, as we've seen, and people that are nearly dying. Those are all people that are affected if we don't donate blood. Now, the whole process is very simple and very easy. It's not drawn out. It's just relatively very easy. The whole blood donation process takes about 8 to 10 minutes, during which you'll be seated comfortably and laying down. And to donate blood, it's a safe process. It only takes 1 hour of your time. 1 hour of your time of your life means that you could potentially save a lifetime for others. Again, just to want to recap here and just to conclude, today I have discussed about the blood shortage problem and why people don't donate and how the problem can be solved. However, in order to make this problem go away or fade away, we have to overcome our fears and at least make one donation. Again, if we at least make one more donation, that potentially can save up to 3 lives. There are opportunities to donate blood at your local church, school, companies, and civic organizations and hospitals. Log on to the redcross.org to obtain more information about the process of blood donation. And remember, 1 hour of your time from your busy life means saving the life of others. And I'd like to close with Matthew 22:37 through 39. And as Christians, we are commanded to love others and to sacrifice for others, as Christ has been an example for us. And I'd like to quote Matthew 22, verse 37 through 39. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your mind. This is the great and first commandment. And the second is like it. You shall love your neighbor as you love yourself. If you donate blood, that means you're donating love. Thank you.